They had to force our forefathers to eat that. But you indulge so freely. Not only do you indulge, but you get all up in arms and defend it. Don't you know our forefathers would die before they eat a pig? They did die. They literally chose death. They chose death before they would even tell a lie to our peoples and just say they ate it, because they didn't want to trick our people into eating it either. Straight soldiers. No compromise whatsoever. None. No compromise. Shout out forefather Elizar. Like, nah, you just gonna have to kill me. No compromise.
Do you know what we had to go through before we eat that pork? We are not supposed to. Do you know? Leviticus told you he didn't make that for. He didn't make that for food. Do you know? Do you? Don't you know we can't eat that? Don't you know we do you know? That's abominable to you. Don't you know it? Do you?
Yeah. An abomination. That's called an abomination. Some say abomination worse than sin, but all I know is the Father hated the pepperoni on a slice of pizza. Look how popular they done made it. A hamburger is a hamburger. Put some cheese on it. Why you need bacon? Monos in the glyceride. Clever way to say this to swine. Gelatin, collagen, coming from a pig inside. Pig fat in your cosmetics, your lotions in your hair care. You got no idea, you in the bathroom doing rituals, rub it in there. Cause these are the same things they do in the basements of they Catholic churches. With your kids you ain't seen since. You had to file for that missing person. Rub a dub in the tub of blood. Drink it like Kool-Aid, shoulder shrug. Keep the most high and other disgust. Sneaking in the bottle now it's done by us. Man, these heathens is broke, and this Bible is the opposite of them.
Oh, we go. The words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be accepted in that sight, or higher, or Redeemer, our Savior Israel. That's just saying, Father, we come together another Shabbat, Father, on the streets and highways of always bring your word, the truth back out to Israel, and Father, bring Israel home to the Father. In your name, and Father, in the name of Yeshua. Pray the high for us in the name of Yeshua. So be it.
So be it. Hallelujah.
Today's topic, unclean foods and abomination. Today's topic, unclean food is abomination.
That's right.
We're going to start this all count Genesis. Let's go back to creation, because disobedience, abomination means a higher hate. He hate anything that's abominable, okay, family, okay? Genesis 2:15, count.
Genesis 2, verse 15. And Yahweh took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And Yahweh commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, eat. But of the tree of knowledge and of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Now again, today's topic, unclean foods, abomination. Now the beginning is a lesson for us to go back to the beginning of creation and see that Adam transgressed the commandments of eating.
That's right.
Something goes in our mouth. Something so simple, family, how he tell us not to do. In the beginning of creation, our ancestors, our fathers sinned. Adam sinned against Ahio, okay?
That's right.
Genesis 3 and 1. Genesis 3 and 1.
Genesis 3.
Read all 19.
Genesis 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more suitable than any beast of the field, which Ahio had made. And he said unto the woman, Ahio said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Now again, Yahweh gave Adam and Eve the commandment, do not eat off this tree, right? A certain tree not do. Now again, the serpent came, if you gotta eat. So right now, when we go out, Yahweh told us not to eat swine flesh, right? Now the heathens, the devil will come to you and say, oh, ain't nobody in my family died for me swine flesh. My grandma ate it all her life. She
That's right.
That's the serpent saying that a higher word ain't gonna come to pass, right? That's the serpent telling them a higher word's not gonna come to pass. But we're gonna see who words stand, a higher word or a devil word. Keep me count.
It says, It says, that's deep, bro. It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall surely die. For Yahweh doeth know that in the day of ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave it also unto her husband, with her, and he did eat.
Now, family, think about something. When the heathens go serpent to Satan, put a big old lobster on TV, dress it up, make it look good, it's pleasant to the eyes, right?
That's right.
I'm saying, I don't know why I messed it up, but Adam and Eve deceived with the same type thing. They were pleasant to the eye, but how you said, do not eat it. It's unclean. Keep reading, Cap.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahweh walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh hath called unto Adam, and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard the voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Now, again, we're going to try to hide ourselves. We go out there, we know the law, says commandment, right? Because the commandment says light. It shows us things. It's like I say, if you constantly don't condemn you, neither will I. Now, when we go out, it's like friends don't go out and buy a pork chop sandwich. We try to hide ourselves on how you don't see us.
That's right.
Yes, you do.
That's
we
right.
know it. That's why we try to hide ourselves, because we know we're guilty of going against his law, such commandments. Keep reading, Cap.
And Yahweh said unto the woman, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon the belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between the seed and her seed. It shall bruise the head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply the sorrow and thy conception in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. And thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweet of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife named Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, and to his wife did Yahweh make coats of skin, and clothed them. And Yahweh said, behold, the man is become one of us, to know good and evil, and know lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore Yahweh sent him forth from the Garden of Eden, till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden, cherubs and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
Hallelujah. Now again, family, let's think about this right here. Okay, Adam and Eve sinned from dietary law, right? A law, how he told them, thou should not eat, right? Now, how he gave us also in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, thou should not eat swine flesh. Now again, we see the punishment of Adam and Eve, right? All the way in Genesis, right? Now why in the world do we think that eating swine flesh, and how he gave us the commandment, do not eat the swine flesh, or the lobster, or the crab, right?
That's right.
All that stuff. Now why did we think that Adam and Eve got punished? We think we not going to get punished? Okay. Now, this show you also that we will not go to the kingdom cause if we eat swine flesh, because 24 says, and he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the garden of Eden cherubim and flaming sword was turned every which way that kept the way of the tree of life. So he made sure that Adam and Eve did not go back to Eden.
That's right.
He made sure, so anywhere in the world we go into the kingdom disobeying his commandments. So Genesis alone is a sign, also in a remembrance of the commandments that our ancestors, Adam, wrote the dietary law. Okay, Cap, precept of that. Go to Deuteronomy 14:1.
Deuteronomy 14, verse 1. Ye are the children of Yahweh. You shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh, and Yahweh has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Now again, abominable means a higher hate. So he said, thou shalt not eat anything abominable. He said, ye are the children of your higher. Ye should not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Now again, the reason why I brought this scripture up, because he said you should not make any baldness between your eyes. Think about it, right between your eyes. A lot of our sisters, they cut themselves right here. This is between the eye, right?
That's
but
right.
We don't see that.
That's right.
He said, ye are the children of your higher. Ye should not cut yourselves to make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. So we cannot make baldness. This way we cannot make baldness, but right between the eye where women arch their eyebrows. This is what higher talking about, okay? He says, 3, thou shalt not eat anything abominable. Go ahead, before Cap.
These are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pargog, and the wild ox, and the shamus, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cleaveth the cleft into 2 claws, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that you shall eat. It says, nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the cloven hoof, as the camel, the hare, and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you, and the swine, and the swine, and the swine. Because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of it. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall eat of. All that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean.
Again, he says, everything that has fins and scales. So we know a catfish don't have fins and scales. So anything that's in the water don't have fins and scales. Lobster, crab, what's it called?
Crawfish.
You cannot eat them.
Crawfish,
again,
oysters.
So we gotta realize now, in our water over here, so-called Tampa, Florida, look at our water. These animals eat all the filth in the water. That's right. Why our water is so dirty, because we eat animals that live in the water.
That's right.
And you go to the Bahamas, go somewhere where they don't eat all these lobster, crab, shrimp. The water is beautiful.
That's right.
It's showing you, family, that these animals are filthy. They're unclean. Their bodies eat all that. They're filthy. How is telling you what not to eat again. You go back to Genesis, Adam broke the law of this dietary law. Now we're doing the same thing, but that was an example for us to get it right now, okay? Can you read, Cap?
Of all clean birds ye shall eat, but these are they of which ye shall not eat: the eagle, and the ostrich, and the osprey, and the glede, and the kite, and the vulture after his kind, and after every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gayer, eagle, and the cormorant, and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lobwing, and the bat, and every creeping thing that filleth is unclean unto you. They shall not be eaten. But of all clean fowls ye may eat. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger. That give it to the stranger. Give it to the stranger is in thy gates, that he may eat. Or thou mayest sell it unto an alien. For thou art a holy people until Ahijah, thou shalt not see their kid in his mother's milk.
Now, how he's telling you, he ain't worried about the other nations. You can sell him this mess. You can get him this crab,
That's right.
lobster, okay? 21 says, ye should not eat anything that dieth in itself. Thou should give it unto a stranger that is in thy gates.
That's right.
And he may eat of it. Thou mayest sell it unto an alien. So all the dietary laws are given to Israel, family.
That's right.
We don't want upon the laws, statutes, commandments, and judgment. Other nations, family, how you say he not worried about them. They can eat all this mess, but they not got the promise to go to the kingdom. Okay, please of that count. Deuteronomy 18:12.
Deuteronomy 18, verse 12. For all that do these things are abomination unto Yahweh, and because of these abominations, Ahijah doeth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Ahijah. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observance of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, Ahijah has not suffered thee so to do.
Oh yeah, please of that. Let's go to 2 Maccabees 7:1, count.
2 Maccabees.
In the book of Apocrypha.
2 Maccabees in the book of Apocrypha.
7:1. And we're going to bring out how serious this is about not eating swine flesh. Again, we shame our ancestors that suffered punishment for this mess.
2 Maccabees
7:1.
chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also the 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine flesh.
Taste what?
To taste swine's flesh.
Taste what?
To taste swine's flesh.
Now this family mother and 7 sons, they're going to go through dreadful punishment from not eating swine flesh. The other nation forced them to do it and they still killed them. Again, it's not going to come back after all this murder. These heathen did us eat swine flesh and come back and say, oh, y'all can eat swine flesh. Jesus said eat swine flesh.
That's right.
Said,
That's right.
Came with law, such Go ahead, Cat, read.
It says, it came to pass also that the 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
Hallelujah.
Then the king, being enraged, commanded pans, cauldrons, and to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
They what?
Commanded to cut the tongue out of him that spake first.
Now this king that wanted Israel to break our father's ancestors' laws, cut out the tongue of this young man because he didn't want to eat that swine flesh. Family, come on now. They had to force this on us and they abused our ancestors. Family, we shamed our ancestors when we broke the law, when we changed.
That's right.
Call on Lord, God, Jesus, and eat this swine flesh. Go ahead, Cat, read.
It says, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Now, when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, Yahweh looketh upon us, and in truth has comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servant. So when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head,
Now, what this king is doing, because Israel, they know they transgress our father's laws. They know that's why they was in this situation. But he tried to force them to eat swine, but he brutally murdered them one at a time in front of their mother. Come on, family, this is brutally. We mean saying that we gonna continue to go out and buy this swine, and eat this swine, or how you told us not to eat, and not save our ancestors what they had to die for, according to the name. Also, keep reading, Count.
It says, with the hair they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language and said, no. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order, as the former did. And when he was at least gasped, he said, life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life. After him was the third, made mocking stock. And when he was required he put out his tongue.
What?
Put out his tongue.
You recap.
And that right soon holding forth his hands manfully, and said courageously, These I have from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again, insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. Now, when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth. Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner.
I know, can you read?
So when he was ready to die, he said, Thus it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from the higher, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Afterward they brought the fifth also, mangled him. Then looked unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of Jehiah, but abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. After him also they brought the six. They brought the six.
Now this king, he's tormented. Imagine a mother watching her son get tormented from each swine flesh. The king washing each swine flesh down. Now he tormented one body, cut the head off, put them in a frying pan, because they would not eat swine flesh, they would not transgress the law. That's how I said they were going to die for the law. We walk around here and we don't have none of this pressure on us, and we willing to eat swine flesh, right? Now one body died, he saw another on top of each other, family. Keep reading, Cap.
It says, After him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, Be not deceived with cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our Jehiah. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou takest in hand to strive against Jehiah, that thou shalt escape unpunished. But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain, with the space of 1 day she bare it with good courage, because of the hope that she had in Jehiah. She exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits and stirring up with womanish thoughts. With manly stomach she said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was I that formed the members of every one of you, but doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves, for his law's sake.
For whose sake?
For his law's sake.
Now again, our ancestors was brilliant. They were murdered, family. Apocrypha. This is why they took Apocrypha out the Bible, family. This is why they took this book out, because our ancestors were brilliant murdered, and we walk around here lawless because this Jay-Z, this Jesus Christ. Come on, family, let's come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and get our salvation back with Yeshua. Keep reading, Cap.
Now Antioch, thinking himself despised and suspected to be reproached for speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assure him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers. Turn from the laws of his fathers.
So this king wanted them only to just turn from your laws. Stop your laws. But this is turn from our law. They brutally and murdered us, family.
That's right.
Family. This is blasphemy when we can walk around here following these heathens. Keep reading, Cap.
If he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother, exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son, but she, bowing herself toward him, laughing, the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language. Who spake in her country language? On this matter, 9 months in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and earth, and all that is therein, and consider that Jehiah made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made. Likewise, fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of the brethren, take the death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. When she was yet speaking these words, I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses, and thou that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews, shall not escape the hands of Yahweh, for we suffer because of our sins.
Because of who?
Because of our sins. And though the living of Yahweh be angry with us a little while for our chastising and correction, yet shall he be at once again with his servants. But thou, O Yahweh-less man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against thy servants of Yahweh. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty Yahweh, who seeth all things. For our brethren, who now have suffered a short pain, are dead under Yahweh's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of Yahweh, shall receive just punishment for thy pride. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our fathers, beseeching Yahweh that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou, by torments and plagues, mayest confess that he alone is Yahweh, and that in me and my brethren the wrath of the Almighty which is justly brought upon our nation, may cease. Then the king, being enraged, handed him worse than all the rest, took it grievously, that he was mocked. So this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in Yahweh. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feasts and the extreme tortures.
Again, 42 says, let this be enough now that we have spoken concerning the idolatrous feasts. So all their feasts they give us to swine, they dress it up, they give it to Israel, because they're not going to get defiled. We are. We the people of this book, family. Go down to 8, Cap. Chapter 8.
2 Maccabees, chapter 8. Then Judas, Maccabees, and they that were with them went privy into the towns, and called the kinfolks together, and took unto them all such as continued the Jews' religion, and assembled about 6,000 men, and they called upon Ahiah that he would look upon the people that was trodden down of all, and also pity the temple, profane and unholy men, and that he would have compassion upon the city sore defaced and ready to be made even with the ground, and hear the blood that cried unto him, and remember the wicked slaughter. Remember the wicked slaughter.
The Bible telling us to remember the wicked slaughter of our ancestors and family. They tell us to remember that. That's why we watch these old movies, these slave movies, when they slaughter our ancestors.
That's right.
We remember that. The Bible says remember that, right?
That's right.
3, Cap.
And remember the wicked slaughter of harmless infants. And the harmless infants.
Now again, they destroyed our infants and everything. That's something we're going to forget about, family. The Bible says don't forget about it. Keep reading, Cap.
And the blasphemies committed against his name.
Against what?
Against his name.
Now, the other nations hate our Father's name.
That's right.
They don't have the right name. Keep reading, Cap.
And that he would show his hatred against the wicked.
Highest calling them wicked. They're going to blaspheme his name. Proverbs 28:9, Cap. Mike in King James 16:11.
Proverbs 28.
Proverbs 28:9.
Proverbs 28. Verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law.
Hearing the what?
Hearing the law.
Hearing the what?
Hearing the law.
He that turneth away from hearing the law. Keep reading, Cap.
Even his prayer shall be an abomination.
His what?
Even his prayer shall be an abomination.
Now, if you turn your ear away from the law, your prayer hinder the abomination to high, which is high. Hey, keep reading, Cap.
Whoso causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit. But the upright shall have good things in possession.
Now, the thing the king did to our ancestors, everything they did, he gonna fall into his own pit. He gonna get destroyed because of everything that they do to Israel. Okay, Cal, precept of that. Let's go to Isaiah 66.
Isaiah 66.
15. Isaiah 66:15. Isaiah's a prophecy, family. That's gonna tell us the stuff that's gonna happen in the future.
Isaiah
Called the
66,
book of the Tanakh.
verse 15.
You got Torah, you got Tanakh, which is the prophet that all prophesy or preach events. So this is Isaiah in the book of Tanakh that's prophesied for a future event talk about Revelation. Keep reading, Cap.
For behold, Yahweh will come with fire.
Come with what?
Come with fire.
Come with what?
Come with fire.
Now remember this, family. How you come with fire? This is only Revelation, right?
That's right.
Keep reading, Cap.
And with chariots, like with chariots, like a whirlwind.
Keep reading.
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh.
Who?
All flesh.
Now, we know this is a prophecy of the future event, right?
That's right.
Read 17, Cap. Let's break this down.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine flesh.
Eating what?
Eating swine flesh.
Eating what?
Eating swine flesh.
Now, this is a prophecy about Revelation, right? Now, why is how you still talking about swine flesh in Revelation? In this prophecy, right? In this day of coming, right?
That's right.
In the garden, eating swine flesh. Keep reading, Cap.
And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
Oh, yeah, please up that, Cap. Let's go to Revelation. Let's get a prophecy on this in Revelation, okay? Let's go to Revelation, Cap, 8 and 1.
Revelations 8, verse 1.
Read all of this 11. 12.
Revelation 8.
Revelation. We don't get to answer that because Isaiah did prophesy about the last day, the coming of a high and shining with fire, right? And he's going to destroy his people, right? Let's get into Revelation to bring this out.
Revelation 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal.
No, 8 in Revelation 8. 1.
Revelation 8.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Revelation 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of a half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before Yahweh, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before Yahweh out of the angel hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire.
What?
Fire of the altar, and cast it into the earth.
Cast it who?
And cast it into the earth.
Now that king that slaughtered our ancestors, right? Now, the prayer of the saints, because those were saints, they were praying, right? Now, our highest are taking revenge on the heathens that crucified us, that killed us for not eating swine flesh. Keep reading, Cap.
So, and the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees were burnt up, and all the green grass were burnt up. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the water. Many men died of the waters.
Now this is the coming of a high and Shai coming to destroy these wicked men, right? These other nations, right?
That's right.
Did all this evil to us, okay? Forcing us to eat swine flesh, okay? Revelations 9 and 1, Cap.
Revelations 9 and 1.
Read all the way to 6.
Revelations 9 and 1. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven into the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit. And there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Yahweh in their forehead.
who?
Seal of Yahweh in their forehead.
Again, family, that seal is a higher name. For these, they're going to be called on the Lord God, Jesus, by. Keep reading, Captain.
And to them that it was given, that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. And the torment was a torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
Hallelujah. Precept of that, Cap. Let's go. Revelations 9 and 1.
Revelations 9.
Revelations 9 and 1. 9:17.
Revelations 9, verse 17.
9:17.
Revelations 9, verse 17.
Again, this being fulfilled that how you going to deal with these nations that force us to eat swine flesh. Keep reading, Cap.
And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these was the third part of men killed by the fire.
What?
By the third part of men killed by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads with them that do hurt. And the rest of the men were not killed, which were not killed by those plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders.
Say who?
Repented they of their murders.
Now this is a prophecy that Isaiah was talking about, right? They not to repent of their murders. They was a heathen and hypocrite for other nations that serve the devil, right? Keep reading, Cap.
Nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts.
Oh yeah, precept of that, Cap. Let's go to Revelation 21:27.
Revelation 21:27. Revelation 21:27.
Now again, the word abomination means a higher hate. A higher hate is abomination, right? Now, no abomination gonna go to the kingdom. No
right.
abomination. So eat that swine flesh, that's an abomination to your temple.
That's
but
right.
Eat a gay, not going to the kingdom, that's an abomination also. Keep reading, Cap.
Revelation 21
and 27.
verse 27. And there shall in no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Hallelujah. Now, we was written in a higher book of life. When we were written in this book, can't nobody take us out of this book, but we can get written out of this book, took out of this book, and we break the laws, statutes, commandments, and judgment, family.
That's right.
Piece of that, let's go to Daniel 11:31.
Daniel 11.
Daniel 11:31. Now Daniel gonna prophesy also, right? Again, Daniel's a prophet. Daniel gonna prophesy also about a future event.
Daniel
11:31.
Daniel 11 verse 31. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that make desolate. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their Yahweh shall be strong and do exploits. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. Now, when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them understanding shall fall. to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end. Because it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against Yahweh's, the gods of gods, and shall prosper to the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all.
Oh yeah. Again, 31 says, "An arm shall stand in his part, and shall pollute the sanctuary of strength," okay? "And shall take away the daily sacrifices," right? "And they shall place the abominable and make it desolate." So the day is coming, we ain't have to sacrifice no more, right? But at the same time, we have to do no sacrifice, because Yeshua was at sacrifice. They put this pork, this swine, this pig on our altar and sacrifice it to Baal.
That's right.
So we start following them in that same trick, right? Breaking the laws, that's commandments, okay? And they prophesied this, because he prophesied Yeshua coming, and Yeshua won't die for us, right? So we were not going to sacrifice it away on the daily sacrifices. But the heathens put swine,
that's right,
all this stuff on the altar, which is abomination. Okay, piece of that, Daniel 12:11.
Daniel 12, verse 11. "And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thou thy way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days."
So they ain't prophesied the last days while Yeshua coming, right? And how he gonna reward everybody?
That's right.
He gonna reward the heathens, destruction and fire and wrath. And he gonna come back and bring Israel back. Well, he said rest. That's why he said be patient and wait on the high and Yeshua, right? Okay, Jeremiah 8:11.
Jeremiah 8, verse 11. "For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people."
Yeah, do who?
They have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people. Slightly saying, "Peace, peace," where there is no peace.
No, you can eat swine flesh. Oh, that was done away with. Oh, peace, peace. Oh, all you gotta do is call JC, call on Jesus Christ. This and you be saying, "Oh, he said he done away with all that." You can eat swine flesh. You can eat pork.
That's
you
right.
You can eat pork chop sandwich. Okay, that's Pastor Pork Chop telling you all those lies and pockets. Okay, read 11 again, Count.
"For they have healed the hurt of thy daughter of my people, slightly saying, Peace, peace, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination?"
T.D. Jakes, purple dollar. Were they ashamed when they said this?
"Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not at all ashamed."
They ain't no shame. They preachers every day with joy. Eat pork. That was done away with. Eat that. Israelite preaching those lies. Keep reading, Count.
"Neither could they blush, therefore shall they fall among them that fall. In the time of their visitation, they shall be cast down, said Yahweh. I will surely consume them, said Yahweh. There shall be no more grapes on the vine, nor figs on the fig tree, and the leaf shall fade, and the things that I have given them shall pass away from them." That's it.
Oh yeah, precept that count. Let's let Matthew Yeshua bring this out and tell us coming to this prophecy Jeremiah in a day. Matthew 24:15 count.
Matthew 24. Verse 15.
Now, Yeshua going to tell you about the Tanakh, which Daniel prophesied and Jeremiah prophesied. Go ahead, count.
That's right.
24:15.
"When ye therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet,"
who?
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Now again, Tanakh is prophet. I mean, that they prophesied everything will come to pass. Everything said according to swine flesh going to come to pass. Keep reading up.
"Stand in the holy place. Whoso reads, let him understand."
Now, Yeshua said, whoever read it, let him understand. Come on now, read this Bible, get an understanding of this truth. Keep reading up.
"Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let them which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
Now, they ain't had no warned us about the coming of the Gentiles. They're going to take our daily sacrifice away, and they're going to put that swine flesh on our altar. They ain't warned us, so Yeshua confirming what they ain't said about this. We got to read the Bible with understanding, family. Keep reading, Cap.
And except those days shouldest be short, there should no flesh be saved, but there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be short.
Now, how you gonna take a lot of elect? Now you elect, now the world be like, oh, he died because he died. No, how you gonna take a lot of elect early? Because he gonna sort the days of the elect, he gonna bring them home to safety, okay? Keep reading, Cap.
Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Hallelujah. Now you're going to have all these prophets going around here talking about they Yeshua, but they're going to say Yeshua, they're going to say other names, Jesus, Lord, God, all these pagan gods around here, they're going to say all these names. They're going to deceive you in these churches when they're knocking people down, so-called cast out demons. How the devil going to cast out his own family? Now, again, the whole world is trying to deceive us, family, to eat this swine flesh. Keep reading, Cap.
Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hallelujah. Piece of that Cap. Let's go to Luke 8:27.
Luke 8. Luke 8. Verse 27. Luke 8, verse 27. And when he went forth to land, there met him out of the city a certain man, which had devils long time, and wore no clothes, neither abode in any house, but in tombs. When he saw Yeshua, he cried out and fell before him with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, Yeshua, thou son of Yahweh most high? I beseech thee, torment me not. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in fetters. And he brake the bands and was driven of the devil into the wilderness.
Who?
Into the wilderness.
Now again, this dude had a legion of demons in him. Again, think, family. Now, you say you're going to have all these demons come out of this man and go into this herd of swine. Swine have demons in them, family, but this scripture ain't going to bring out that those demons are in this food. Keep reading, Cap, go ahead.
And Yeshua asked him, saying, What is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him. And they besought him that he would not command them to go into the deep. And there was there a herd of many swine feeding on the mountain, and they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them, and he suffered them. Then went the devils out of the man and entered into the swine.
To the who?
Into the swine.
To the who?
Into the swine.
Now again, family, Yeshua had all these demons to come out of this man and go into the swine, right? Also, you think about it, why do our women love lobster, shrimp, crab? What's called that restaurant they go to?
Red lobster.
Red lobster, okay? Demons is in there, family. The devil gonna get out the weaker vessel all the time. That's why women love those shrimp.
That's right.
Those crab,
That's
red
right.
lobster, because they got demons in them. Also, Yeshua put these demons inside these swine. When we eat these unclean food, that's when these demons go inside.
That's right.
They go inside this unclean food. That's why they're unclean. Demons are unclean. We're going to prove that with scripture today. Keep me in count.
Then went the devils out of the man and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and were choked. When they that fled feed them saw what was done, they fled and went and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Yeshua and found the man out of whom the devils were departed, sitting at the feet of Yeshua, clothed in his right mind. And they were afraid. They also, which saw it, told them by what means he that was possessed of the devils was healed. Then the whole multitude of the country of the Gadarenes round about besought him to depart from them. From they were taken with great fear, and he went up into the ship and returned back again.
Now, you see that Yeshua cast these demons out this man, right? But the people that said, well, man, Yeshua cast it, we killing this dude. That was an Israelite family. The nation don't want us to be cured. They don't want us to be healed. They don't want us to be possessed with their wicked demons and devil from the devil, right? Now again, right now today, the world hate us for waking up.
That's right.
They see us not buying their crab, shrimp, lobster, not going to their football game, their basketball game. They hate that because they know that we're waking up. But we got to come out of here a higher people, like how you said, like Cap, precept to that is Colossians 2:16, where the world read this and read it ignorantly. But we finna read it for you and break it down the right way. Colossians 2:16.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink.
Who?
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of a holy day.
Who?
Or respect of a holy day.
A holiday.
Or respect of a holy day.
A holiday.
A respect of a holy day.
Now I realize, family, who is Paul talking to? He's not talking to the other nation when we break this down. Read from top cap 16.
Or he says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come.
Now, when we don't eat swine flesh, it's a shadow of things to come. When we coming out Shabbat day, like the day we spread the higher word, His truth on
right.
Shabbat day, He said, let no man therefore judge you. We're going to separate ourselves from the world. So this scripture is only talking about Israelites. Keep reading, Cap.
Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body of Hamashiach let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, intruding into those things which he has not seen, vanity puffed up by his fleshly mind, and not holding the head, from which all the body by joints and bands, having nourishment ministered and knit together, increases with the increase of Yahweh. Wherefore, if ye be dead with the Mashiach from the rudiments of the world, why as though living in the world are ye subject to ordinances?
Now, Paul saying, do not be condensed to the ordinance of the world. He said, why? If you be dead with Yeshua, now we supposed to got baptized to Yeshua in the high, right? So we're dead to the rudiments of this world.
That's right.
Again, recap.
Touch not, taste not, touch not, taste not, handle not.
Read again.
Touch not, taste not, handle not.
Paul saying, touch not, taste not, handle not. Now we read in the Apocrypha earlier that our ancestors got destroyed for even just touching and tasting.
That's right.
Swine flesh. They wanted us to eat swine flesh, and they murdered us not for eating, okay? Paul says, touch not, taste not, handle not. 22 cap.
Which are to perish with the using after the commandments and doctrines of men.
Of who?
Doctrines of men.
Ahaya.
Doctrines of men.
Ahaya ain't tell you to eat that stuff. He ain't tell you to touch it. Now that's doctrines of man. Keep reading, cap.
Which things have indeed a show of wisdom in all worship and humility and neglecting of the body, not in any hour to the satisfying of the flesh.
Hallelujah. Piece of that cap. 1 Timothy 4:1. This is another famous one. 1 Timothy 4:1.
1 Timothy 4, verse 1.
Now again, this is another famous scripture. The world take this scripture, twist it up, but we're going to break it down righteously for you in truth. Go ahead, Cap.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the later times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
Of who?
Doctrines of devils.
Of who?
Doctrines of devils.
Again, the doctrines of devils. Remember in Genesis where the serpent beguiled Eve? That's the same thing. Doctrine of the devil, because the devil is a liar.
That's right. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with the hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which Yahweh has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
Who?
Know the truth.
Now again, 3. Forbidding to marry and commending to abstain from meats which a higher has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. 4 cap. This is the key verse.
For every creature of Yahweh is good, and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving.
Read.
For it is sanctified.
It is what?
For it is sanctified.
It is what?
For it is sanctified.
Word sanctified means set apart, meaning how you said somewhere in this book, do not eat. Right?
That's right.
Now the world take the scripture as how you say eat it, as long as I pray over it, I can eat it. It said again.
For it is sanctified by the word of
By
Yahweh.
who?
Sanctified by the word of
That
Yahweh.
means how you told you somewhere in his book, do not eat.
That's right.
Okay, read through again, Cap.
Huh?
3.
Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which Yahweh has created to be received with thanksgiving.
Now, all the food he said, this is clean for you to eat. He said he wants you to eat it, right?
Of them which believe and know the truth.
The ones that know the truth gonna stop eating the food he said that do not eat. But he gonna tell us the food to eat, okay? Read 4, Cap.
For every creature of Yahweh is good and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving.
Keep reading. 5. Keep
For
reading.
it is sanctified by the
Set
word.
apart by the word of Yahweh. Now, Yahweh said, do not eat in Genesis. Then he went to Leviticus 11:1. Then he went to Deuteronomy 14:1. Do not eat swine flesh. Do not touch swine flesh. Keep reading, Cap.
For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer. If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things,
Read who?
put the brethren in remembrance of
It's our
these
job to
things.
remind y'all
That's
that
right.
Adam and Eve transgressed this commandment. Deuteronomy 14 and Leviticus 11:1, the dietary law, our ancestors broke those laws.
That's
But
right.
we here to put you in remembrance that's in this Bible. Do not eat, touch not, taste not, handle not. Keep reading, Cap.
If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister.
Now, the Bible says you're a good minister, but tell this truth. Thou shalt not eat this food. Keep reading.
Yeshaya HaMashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained, but refused profane and old wives' fables. And
Who fables?
old wives' fables.
Now, you say old wives, our grandma, great grandma, all them telling us, oh, you can eat that, baby, that's okay to eat that. It's not, they didn't know the truth.
That's
They
right.
didn't know the laws, that's commandments, so they told us to eat this food that was profane. That's why I said, thou should not eat. Go ahead, Cap.
And exercise thyself rather unto holiness.
Holy means set apart, family.
For bodily exercise profiteth little.
Now, work it out, going to the gym, doing all right, running, but then profit you little. The commandments gonna give you health.
That's right.
Following the laws and commandments, your health. Working out ain't gonna get you nowhere, family. So getting buffed up and all this exercising, that ain't nothing to a higher.
That's right.
Read again, Cap.
For bodily exercise profiteth little.
What?
Profiteth little.
He got down the Bible saying that. Now that's a higher.
But holiness is profitable to all things, having promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all anticipation. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living Yahweh, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe.
Oh yeah, can we?
These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth. But be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity, till I come. Give attendance to reading,
To who?
to reading,
To who?
to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy.
Now, by prophecy, again, the prophecy to not. You got Jeremiah, Nehemiah, Hezekiah, you got Daniel. They prophesied in the book of Tanakh to warn us about all this stuff and everything that's going to come to pass now. But that's why he said, also neglect not the gift of, that's a gift to us, family.
That's right.
It was free to give to us. But we're going to knock it down because we're going to follow the heathen.
That's right.
Read, Cap.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands and the presbytery. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself, and unto the doctrine, continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Hallelujah. Now again, is to take heed into thyself and into the doctrine. Continue in both. Save thyself, save myself, and them that hear this. So it's our job to bring this word so you can hear it. All you
That's
do
right.
is hear this word. Okay, please set that count. Go to Romans 12:1.
Romans 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh,
Who?
by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. A living sacrifice.
Now again, when we was in the Apocrypha earlier, we had the 7 sons and their mothers. They gave their body as a sacrifice for the atonement for Israel's sake because they transgressed the laws and commandments. Family, keep reading, Cap.
Holy and acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That
Renewing of what?
By the renewing of your mind.
Can we?
That ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
Oh yeah, piece of that, Cap. Acts 10 and 10.
Acts 10 and 10.
This is another famous scripture that they say you can eat all you want. That's why we bring out these scriptures that the church is going to teach you live. But we're going to bring out there in scripture according to swine flesh. Acts 10 10.
Acts 10 and 10. And he became very hungry.
He's talking about Peter when Peter was on the roof and he was hungry. And how he told him slay and eat. Okay, we're going to break down and he's talking about people, not food, family. Keep reading.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance. And saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down the earth, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
What?
Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Now how he told Peter kill and eat, right? We're going to let Peter look at the scripture right now how he was talking about to Peter. Keep reading.
But Peter said, Not so, Yeshua. For I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time. What Yahweh has cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven.
Now, I want to break this down. Now, if Yeshua would have told Peter, you can eat what you want. If Yeshua would have told Paul, eat what you want. If Yeshua would have told any of the disciples, eat what you want. Eat that swine flesh. Peter would have known that, right?
That's right.
Now, why didn't Peter know? Peter said, Yeshua, I never ate anything common or unclean.
That's right.
Again, if Yeshua came and told you can eat swine flesh, Peter would have been like, oh, I know. I ate it. Yeshua told me to eat it.
That's right.
But Peter telling Yahweh, I never ate anything common or unclean. Keep me count.
That's deep. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What Yahweh hath cleansed, that called not thou common, this was done thrice. And the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself what is the vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius, he had made inquiry for Simeon's house, and stood before the gate.
Now again, 17. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision meant. So Peter didn't know what this vision meant because Yeshua never told him he don't pork.
That's right.
Now again, this is after the death of Yeshua. Now, if Yeshua told Peter, Paul, and them to eat pork, Peter would have known this, right?
That's right.
Okay, now, let's go to 20 and let Peter tell you what this vision truly meant.
Acts 10, verse 28. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. Another nation.
Now, Israel didn't deal with other nations because they were called unclean, family. So this is what I talk about. But let's bring it up. Go ahead, Cap.
But Yahweh has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Now, Peter's telling you that he should call any man because, again, we was called Gentiles, right?
That's right.
Which was unclean. Okay, now, Peter don't got to go wake Israel up, right?
That's right.
And get on the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, to bring them back to the higher. Now, you will be clean. But first, you got to get baptized in the name of Yeshua and get clean.
That's right.
And come out of this world, right? So, other nations was called unclean. Even Israelites that were calling on the name of God, Lord, Jesus.
That's right.
And ain't pork. Keep reading, Cap.
Therefore came I unto you with gainsayings as soon as I was sent forth. I asked therefore, what intent ye have sent for me? And Cornelius.
That's it. Okay, appreciate that. Acts 10:28, Cap.
That was the last one, my brother.
Yes, you on that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
That's it today, family. Today's topic: unclean foods and abomination. Okay?
Hallelujah.
I hope everybody had a pencil, a pad, a note, and wrote these scriptures down.
That's right. If you don't get them,
please watch this video and take down notes. We want Israel to wake up. This is the awakening. This is the second Exodus
to your dietary law.
Hallelujah. And we want to go to the kingdom.
That's right.
We want to do it right this time. The first time we messed up, okay, and how you had to sing your shire. Please, family, let's get into these books and study this so ourselves approved.
Stop that pork, stop that bacon, stop all that madness.
All that. Crab,
big ain't for us.
Lobster, shrimp, all that stuff is abomination.
That's right.
It's a perpetual hate. And how you say do not eat, okay?
All praise to your high. Don't even try.
Welcome, thank you again for tuning into us. Another Shabbat.
That's right.
We love y'all, brothers and sisters.
D.O.C. out.
D.O.C. out. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Awesome job, man. Hallelujah. Short and sweet, though.
Short and sweet.
They had to force our forefathers to eat that. But you indulge so freely. Not only do you indulge, but you get all up in arms and defend it. Don't you know our forefathers would die before they eat a pig? They did die. They literally chose death. They chose death before they would even tell a lie to our peoples and just say they ate it, because they didn't want to trick our people into eating it either. Straight soldiers. No compromise whatsoever. None. No compromise. Shout out forefather Elizar. Like, nah, you just gonna have to kill me. No compromise.
Do you know what we had to go through before we eat that pork? We are not supposed to. Do you know? Leviticus told you he didn't make that for. He didn't make that for food. Do you know? Do you? Don't you know we can't eat that? Don't you know we do you know? That's abominable to you. Don't you know we do you
Yeah. An abomination. That's called an abomination. Some say abomination worse than sin, but all I know is the Father hated the pepperoni on a slice of pizza. Look how popular they done made it. A hamburger is a hamburger. Put some cheese on it. Why you need bacon? Monos in the glyceride. Clever way to say this to swine. Gelatin, collagen, coming from a pig inside. Pig fat in your cosmetics, your lotions in your hair care. You got no idea you in the bathroom doing rituals, rub it in there. Cause these are the same things they do in the basements of they Catholic churches. With your kids you ain't seen since you had to file for that missing persons. Rub a dub in the tub of blood. Drink it like Kool-Aid, shoulder shrugs. Keep the most high and utter disgust. Sneaking in the bottle, now it's done by us. Man, these heathens is gross. And this Bible is the opposite of them. Father shook us, we both. And you still can't figure out why we love them. Nothing new under the sun. Tell them we back at the falling from them. Dietary law truth. We ain't eating that, we out of here, we running.
You know what we had to go through before we eat that pork? We are not supposed to. Do you know? Leviticus told you he didn't make that for. He didn't make that for food. Do you know? Do you? Don't you know we can't eat that? Don't you know we do you know? That's abominable to you. Don't you know we do you
But you gorge with the quickness. Then you wonder why you all torn with your sickness. When they tried to feed my forefather that piglet, he ain't going for it. He's shaking, he's spitting. He ain't going for it. He turning, he's spitting. He ain't going for it. He's squirming, he's spitting. But you indulge with the quickness, and got the nerve to defend it. Oh, do you know what our forefathers had to go through with that meat? They was giving their life, but they got caught chewing that meat. Don't you know that to pick a child down on everything, anything? Then you put it on your dinner table for your family. You are what you eat. High blood pressure, that cancer, them strokes, diabetes. That cholesterol get up in you, clogging up your arteries. Now you up in there half dead, looking like a fiend in the pharmacy. And you probably full of worms, might as well eat a dead dog off the street. Oh, this is why we hardly ever make it to our 50s. You gon' learn that the Most High said, listen. He trying to guide us through a healthy life, what we got to do and what not to do. Come out of her but keep a ride to you. That shrimp, crab, and that lobster too. And your fish better have fins and scales. But what we love the most, catfish. That faded to us in slavery and then made it cheap. It's no accident. And imagine this is what's keeping us separated from the Father. Tell you about these commandments in your hiding
Do you know what we had to go through before we eat that pork? We are not supposed to. Do you know? Leviticus told you he didn't make that for. He didn't make that for food. Do you know? Do you? Don't you know we can't eat that? Don't you know we do you know? That's abominable to you. Don't you know we do you?
The whole world has forsaken the Most High's law. Hundreds of religions have this book in their primary source of doctrine, but nobody's following what's written in it. Why? Because it wasn't given to them. Nor is this a religious book. This is the book of a heritage of a people that are lost, deaf, dumb, and blind, and have no idea who they are or that the ordinance of this book has been given to them. Everybody else will be looking for shortcuts and scapegoats. Anybody who correctly follows this book would have to get it from they who this book was given unto. Why? Because they are the ones who would be diligently following what is written in this book. It was given to them, a book of specific instructions for a particular chosen people, all the way down to the diet. Specific instructions on what should be eaten and not. Right now, we just happen to be dealing with that particular topic. Read the Bible, Leviticus 11:7-8. And the swine that would divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. It ain't got no interest in no cud, which is plants and grass and other vegetation. A pig can eat anything. It has razor-sharp teeth and jaws that crush up to 600 psi in pressure. Therefore, it can eat through anything. So back before it was a trash man coming down the street once a week, you just took your garbage can and dumped it over in the pig pen. It is the trash consumer of the earth. That's its job. That's what it do. That's what the Most High created it for. Same thing with the bathroom. Before there was a sewer system, you just did your business in a bucket, dumped it over in the pig pen. That's its job. Why do you think greedy people are called pigs? They eat everything. So you don't think it fulfilled its purpose before it winded up on your dinner table? It did its job. A pig do its business and then get done and turn right around and eat the business it just did. And you got this on your dinner table, feeding it to your family. It eats everything. Their cages and gates must be steel or iron. They will eat their way out of any other material. The Most High didn't create it for food. It is the trash consumer of the earth. Therefore it is what? He is unclean to you. It is unclean. It doesn't have pores, so it doesn't sweat. It is full of bacteria. It holds diseases and is unaffected. It has holes between the hoods of its feet. They just leak nasty abstract and pus from its body, which is the same clear grease that comes out of your bacon. That same clear juice that comes out of your sausage and pork chops when you squeeze it. You know that clear liquid. I'm telling y'all, man, this is a real repugnant animal y'all eat. It's the truth that you are what you eat. Whatever you eat becomes you, becomes a part of you. A pig is what it eats. And then you turn around and eat the pig, so you just ate whatever the pig ate. Now do you see where Ahia is coming from? Verse 8, that their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Its carcass is its dead body, so not only does the Father not want you to eat it, but he don't even want you to touch it after it's dead. Now let's get a quick precept of this. Still in the law, let's go. Deuteronomy 14:8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. Bang, there it is again there. This book and every word in it is the truth, from the law to the prophets to the gospel. So the wicked rulers of this earth, who has dominion over this world for a time, is set up against it. So they're going to tell you that it's okay to eat this abominable meat. And they're going to teach all their bishops and scholars and pastors to teach that it's okay to eat this meat. They are liars. Our forefathers, in obedience to the Most High, took this dietary law very, very serious. You couldn't get them to eat no pig. Nah, they wasn't doing it. No, they would choose death first. 2 Maccabees chapter 6:1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High. So you see this? They have always tried to get us away from the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. It's the same thing today. Ain't no difference. They have always worked to get us to sin and anger our Father in heaven. This makes the Father take his power away from us. Then they can conquer us and become the authority and rule over us. Therefore, the world is by default delivered into their hands. And once they get that dominion, what must they do to keep it? Right, they gotta keep us in it. That's why everywhere you go and everywhere you look, you find yourself being compelled to do something that's against the ordinance of the Most High's commandment. They purposely got us breaking every law that is written therein. What's one of the main things they was doing to get us to anger the Most High? Jump down to verse 9. Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. So they was threatening us with death if we refused to eat this abominable meat that they was forcing on us. Let's get our forefather Eleazar, the Levite. Jump down to 18. 18, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth. To constrain is to force, so they forcing his mouth open to do what? And to eat swine's flesh. Kabang, so they prying his mouth open trying to shove pork in his mouth. And what he do? 19, but he choosing rather to die gloriously. See that? He chose death. He would rather die than to do what? Than to live stained with such an abomination. He like, nah, y'all ain't defiling me. He fighting to the death. Than to live stained with such an abomination. Spit it forth. He spitting and fighting and came to his own accord to the torment. He chose torment. He wasn't compromised. They couldn't get him to cross the Most High. So what they do? Jump down to 21. 21, but they that had charge of the wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside. So they took him to the side real quick and private, and what they tried to push on him, and besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. So they told him to bring out some of his own meat. What kind of meat? Such as was lawful for him to use. Clean meat. That's what kind of meat they wanted him to get. And what did they want him to do with this clean meat? And make as if he did eat of the flesh that was taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. So they wanted him to take his clean meat in front like he was eating their abominable meat and eat it in front of the rest of the brood. And what did Eleazar do? Jump down to 23. 23, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his old age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come. So he was a devout law follower all his life into his old age. This is the son of our forefather Aaron, Moses' brother, and his most honest education from a child. What education? Or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. The Most High's law, that's what education. Therefore he answered accordingly, and what was his decision? And willed them straightways to send him to the grave. Kabang, he chose death, he gave his life. He died before his people, before he would eat that garbage. How honorable is that? 2nd Maccabees chapter 7 tells us about a mother and her 7 sons who died before they would eat this meat, after being tortured and tormented and finally killed. That's how serious this is. We did not compromise with this. But here we are today, not only indulging, but defending this abominable meat, despising the orders of the Most High who created this body and therefore should know what's good for it and not. Even in the churches. Let's get some of the scriptures that they say make it okay to eat a pig. Matthew 15 and 10 through 11. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. 11, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. They'll bring you here and say that it's okay to eat a pig. Yeah, well, what just came out your mouth just defiled you, brother. Because you teaching against the Most High's commandment. Nowhere has he redrew this law and made an unclean animal a clean animal. Now let's kabang them right fast. What was Joshua really talking about in this verse? We got to read this book in its proper context. Why did he really say this? Back it up to verse 2. Matthew 15 and verse 2. Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands before they eat bread. Kabang. This is just talking about the disciples not washing their hands before they ate some bread. This ain't got nothing to do with eating no unclean pig meat. Let's get another one. What's another one they pull to say it's okay to eat this abominable meat? 1 Timothy 4 and 4. For every creature of God is good. So everything the Most High created is good. It has a purpose and nothing to be refused. And nothing should be turned down if what? If it be received with thanksgiving. If it is received with thanksgiving. Glory and honor to the Most High. But how you gonna receive something with thanks, glory, and honor to the Most High that he done already told you not to eat in the first place? What kind of sense did that make? Like, thank you, Father, for this disgusting abominable meat, this trash consumer of the earth that you told me not to eat. It don't work like that. They try to use Christ to do all of these things that the Most High said not to do. Okay, so let's talk Christ then. Yeshua, the Messiah, the pure and righteous, the unblemished Lamb, the hand layer upon her, the healer. Now, can you see him casting a demon into anyone or anything, corrupting anyone or anything, defiling anyone or anything? What happened when he met the 2 possessed men with devils? What did he cast their demons into? Matthew 28:32. And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into a herd of swine. Kabang, he allowed them to go into a flock of pigs. And what did those demons do to the pigs? And behold, the whole herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea, down an embankment into the ocean, and perished in the waters. And they drowned and died. Now can you see the Messiah doing this to any other creature on this earth? Everything else he was restoring and healing. But he allowed a flock of pigs to be destroyed. Proof that even in the New Testament, this is still a filthy, defiled, abominable animal. Now here we are started they cooking this garbage and putting it on our dinner table, feeding it to our family. I'm telling you, they teach you that it's okay to eat defiled meats is lying to y'all. The Most High word don't come back void. What you saying? The Most High made a mistake? Yeah, I know I said in the past you couldn't eat this meat, but now it's okay. Nah, the Most High don't make no mistake. Malachi 3:6. I am a higher. I change not. He is a higher. The all-seeing, all-knowing, unchanging Most High. He say what he mean what he say. He don't change his mind and he don't contradict himself. Once he set something in place, that's that. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if he said don't eat a pig then, he don't want you eating no pig now. Refrain from all abominable meats. I am your brother Brian, Ruler T, BWO, Full World Order. We are taking this thing over. Active Hebrew, gathering Christ Church in these last days. The truth about abominable meats. Shout out to the one.